Well, why is it not showing me? Oh, there I am. Oh my goodness. So hello everybody. Nobody's there. I'm just casting live for the first time to see how this works. Uh Today is my birthday. I turned 55 years old, and being born on the 4th of July affords you some interesting perspectives politically. And you're like, well, who's this guy talking? Fair point, especially considering I'm talking to absolutely no one at the moment. Maybe I'm just commiserating because I am somewhat frustrated by the state of my country, which is pretty wild, you know? Uh, I think that we are in interesting times, like the Chinese curse goes. It's like we are in interesting times, and we may be entering a profound period of decline as well as decadence that no one's really much paying attention to, uh, because distractions. I mean, and I'm a victim of that too, because I mean, I read comic books, I watch movies, uh, I do all of the things that Americans with just enough money and not a whole lot of time are able to do, which is to distract ourselves away from the abyss, distract ourselves away from, you know, all of the stuff. Um, I don't know. And it's unfortunate. I, I don't know what the answer to any of it particularly is. Uh, uh, but I figured if I'm going to uh, celebrate my birthday, might as well celebrate it by being an old man screaming at clouds. And maybe someone out there will be out there. I don't know. How are you feeling this July 4th, I guess is the question. Um, at the moment, nobody is kind of posting or anything else. I wouldn't expect them to. I mean, who am I? I'm not anybody particularly important. Uh, but, it would be nice to have a conversation about maybe what is happening, you know, what what we might be able to do. Um, so I don't know. I kind of figured this live chat would be a little more impressive, but I guess that's what happens when it's your birthday. So send a like or a thumbs up. There's no real thing to say. Uh, I'd love to have a conversation out there. Screaming into the void is what we're doing. But now I figured out how to do the live stream, so that's helpful. Um, I think we're live chatting to see who's out there and what one can do. Uh, but that's a live stream. Is this really as awkward as all the people that do it all the time make it to be? Doesn't seem like it. Hey, James Peak. My first listener says happy birthday. Why, thank you, James. I appreciate it. The only reason why I'm here is because I'm sort of bored and trying to figure out how to live stream. So, James, if you ever get a chance, you should look at the all of the stuff on That's So Quantum. But what I was trying to have is a conversation and just to see where the mood is, where the zeitgeist is on this 4th of July. Because I feel like this has been a very weird birthday. Oh, you've been watching the web show for a bit now. Well, thank you for responding. So it's just going to be James and I commiserating about the 4th of July. Where are you at, James, if I may ask? Like what state, city, country? Where are you at? Ah, you're a Floridian. Oh, look at that. Well, I'm in Colorado. Um, hot. So of course, everybody, whenever they say something to someone in Florida, it's like, "Is it hot there?" I'm sure it is. Uh, but born in Miami, big culture change. Yeah. So now you're in Central Florida. Central Florida, that's a different animal. Like Miami could kind of convince you that you're sort of in, um, you know, the islands, like maybe you're Martinique or something like that, but then you go to Central Florida and it's like you're in Arkansas. Is that kind of the feel? Miami is like, multicultural, and there's a strong Cuban influence, I believe, in Miami, but it's definitely a sort of cosmopolitan hub, at least in Florida. And Central Florida, maybe not so much. Not so much, right? I'm sorry about the big cultural change. I moved there for business. Is that what happened? Yeah. You grew up in the Caribbean. That's what I was thinking. It's like, the Caribbean, that's kind of Miami. And then, oh no, you're surrounded, yeah, that look like you. Nah, you got gentrified out of your own neighborhood. Well, yeah, that's kind of the problem, right? Is that, eventually all the cool neighborhoods get bought up and people are have to get forced out. I used to live in Denver when Denver was kind of not seedy, but it was Denver, and there's viaducts and everything was a bit of a you know, not so great. And then they got the baseball stadium in, and prices went up. Cannabis became legal, and now it's, your typical sort of overpriced urban center. And so all the cool shops go away, all the cool record stores go away. So there you go. Well, I'm sorry that you've been booted out of your neighborhood. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's changed quite a bit. So, James, yeah, this is super great because I didn't know what this was going to sort of look like being on a live stream on my birthday. Um, because there's a lot going on for the 4th of July. Being born on the 4th of July is a little weird because you get politics very, very early. And I kind of just wanted to see who would show up and what kind of conversation we could have, regardless of where you are in the country. And James is my first person in Florida. Who's the second person? There's a second. There's a third person. Oh goodness! Anyone who's feel free to chime in and chat because this is just an open conversation from little old me, occasional comedian, Buddhist. What else? Occasional poet, occasional martial artist. Jack of all trades, not a master of any of them. So, yes, this is the conversation that we're having. Um, so I probably just reiterate because I've been kind of ranting before James texted and anyone else who's out there texted that this is about trying to figure out where head is at, like the Basement Jack song, "Where's your head at?" Um, because I have this belief that we're not as terrible as everyone who has commodified. our opinion has wants us to be. I think that the average American is actually pretty decent, regardless of political stripe. But I think that there are people who have a vested interest in making money and having power that to make the other side, the other tribe, bad. And so I want to get a real sense of where people are at. And it looks like I have three viewers. So if one of the other viewers, including James, want to chime in, where do you think, what is the state of the union? And forgive my barking dog. This is Milton. Yes, tribal. Yes, that's kind of how I view it. It's like right now, thank you. I think that right now we're at this place where maybe it's bots, maybe it's the pundit sphere, where everyone is just like, I'm going to scream my opinion at you. And if you don't share that opinion, you're terrible and you're bad. And I think things can be a little more nuanced than that. It doesn't have to be, I should probably confess, I have friends of all races, all political stripes. One of my movie projects that you can see on the That's a Quantum channel, three, which is a vampire story. Two of the actors were trans, friends of mine. Um, so for me, people aren't theoretical. It's very hard to make someone a boogeyman when you know who those people are. It's like you can't make an immigrant a boogeyman to someone who knows immigrants. You can't make an enemy out of someone who knows, all sorts of people. But it seems as though we're so separated in this way that we just go by stereotypes. Just go by snap judgments. They are a time saver. Stereotypes are a time saver. But yeah, it seems that there's been a tribalism that has taken root. This is from James. There is an interesting take to that. If you're friends with people who alienate your trans friends, is there a moral dilemma there? Should you be friends of people who denounce their identity? Now, I have to admit, I don't have friends that would denounce other friends. Now, maybe they're keeping quiet about it, you know, but I try to stay out of a bubble. For me, so this is an interesting thing. For those poor people watching this wild live show, I finally read the Harry Potter series. I polished it off in a month. I guess it was May. I just started May 1st, went through the whole thing. It was fine. I had an existential panic for a moment because when I took a test, I was Slytherin. They seem kind of terrible. So I don't know how I came up with Slytherin. But I say this to say that I read this story and it was fine. And, J.K. Rowling, she has some real profound issues with the trans community. And for me, you were Ravenclaw. Nice. Anyone else want in the chat what house you were? Go for it. Again, Slytherin. I was like, I don't feel particularly evil. Most of the time I'm good in most situations, and if for those of you that play D&D, most of the time, chaotic good. Slytherin, Digimon 2.0. All right, holding it down for the snakes. But J.K. Rowling, she has some real uh issues. Hey, it's Carly. That's a friend of mine. I decided I wanted to just rant and rave to the void. Old man shaking fist at clouds on my birthday, and I didn't care if anyone showed up, but I'm glad that people have, to see what the state of the union is, see what uh where people's heads are at on this 4th of July, because a lot of stuff's going down. But where I was at is that J.K. Rowling has real issues with the trans community. And I did struggle a bit about reading Harry Potter with that because I grew up with a friend of mine, Lori. Her father was trans, and this is 1980s. So I mean, this was early doors. Now all of my friends were multiple races, some were gay, and we were all the weirdo kids, the new wave kids and the goth kids. But this is the 80s. This is a little different than maybe the 90s or whatever else. This was early doors. It's like when you couldn't hear The Cure over a Kroger speaker while shopping for milk. Um, so, you know, I grew up with a person whose father was trans. So it's really hard for me to think in terms of, oh, these are alien people that are trying to destroy your children. He just wanted life. He was, yeah, I should say she because I believe they identified as a she at that time. But I think the pronoun thing was a little new, if at all, present in 1984, 85. So I don't have this need to vilify a whole group of people. But what James mentioned is how do you befriend people that would denounce other friends' identities? It's going to make my funeral real interesting. I I don't think I have anybody that's super close to me that's super anti. I mean, but I don't know. Um, But I feel like when people actually sit down, have a conversation, not yelling, sit down, have a conversation, find that they have more in common with people than not. Uh, Again, I'm in Colorado, so, Colorado is essentially one big Austin, Texas, I guess, sort of. I mean, there's Colorado Springs, which is the Air Force Academy and everything's there, and they're pretty conservative, but they're conservative by Colorado standards, which is probably liberal by Alabama standards. Sorry, Alabama, if you're out there listening. But frankly, I've got four people listening to me rant and rave. I don't think any of you are from Alabama. Where were you from, Digimon 2.0? I know you're Slytherin, but I just wanted to see where you're from. Anyways, if you want to pass the word that we're having this conversation, feel free to spread the word because I don't know. I probably might do this for an extended period of time. I don't hold it against you, Carly, if you drop off. Just thank you for saying happy birthday and everything else to me. Um, Nebraska. Oh, okay. So I have a buddy that's in Omaha, and what he likes about Nebraska is frankly that it's you get paid kind of like you get paid in Colorado, but the cost of living is less expensive. What's the climate, not environmentally speaking, but where's Nebraska's head at? And this is just judging you are going to have to speak for all Nebraskans now, Digimon. I'm sorry. We're just gonna you're gonna speak and we're gonna say, oh, okay, that's what Nebraska is, and we're gonna go on. So where's Nebraska at this point? Hey, and there's Lloyd. Nazis. Ah, yikes. Appointed representative of Nebraska. Yes. And James, you are appointed representative of Florida. So, you know. Oh, so you live in Colorado. Okay, born in Nebraska, live in Colorado. Oh, so you know kind of what I'm saying. It's like Colorado, I mean, there's places that are conservative, but they're not scary conservative. But um so yeah, I guess sorry Digimon, you've lost the ability to be the voice of Nebraska, but Lloyd can be the voice of Nebraska. So and he says Nazis. So there you go. I don't come on. It can't all be Nazis. Can it? Probably not. Lots of trucks, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of trucks in Colorado too. Um, so I've been ranting and raving 19 minutes on my birthday with complete strangers and some not strangers to see again. Just this is like I guess a station break sort of thing. Where the State of the Union of America is at. Oh, okay. So this is from James. We do in fact have alligators. They're not that scary. Big water puppies. Speaking as a Floridian, so take that opinion with a ton of salt. Well, here's the question. I hear they're tasty. I hear they're tasty. Yes, Colorado Springs has focused on the family. They have been a thorn in the side of liberal Colorado for a long time. Back in the days of Rush Limbaugh, and I almost did my default God rest his soul, but mm, hard pass on saying that. Um, delicious and pretty sustainable. So, um, but here's the question, James. Alligator, does it taste like chicken? I'm betting it tastes like chicken. Like sea salt chicken? But you say absolutely delicious. So had this alligator. Have you had it? I don't know. Probably not. What is it? Al dente? No, that's not what it is. What's the one where you eat the thing raw? The beef raw. You know how it's like they just give you a big thing of ground beef and throw some herbs in and say, there you go. Ah, so 100% sea salt chicken. There we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, our Florida representative says alligator sea salt chicken. Ah, as Hitchens used to say, if you have him an enema, he could fit in a matchbox. Oh, Christopher Hitchens? Yes, Christopher Hitchens, right? If I recall, now, am I right in saying that Christopher Hitchens was a person who was like, "There's no such thing as torture. There's no such thing as torture," and then got waterboarded for like 10 seconds, and then freaked out and said, "Oh my God, it's torture," and then had PTSD forever after that? Is that the Christopher Hitchens I'm thinking of? Hitchens gave someone an enema with a matchbox. I think you need water with it, maybe. I mean, you could. I mean, you can enema anything, really. I mean, is that safe to say on YouTube? Enema or matchbox? I mean, maybe both are. Hitchens. Yeah, I could have swore that Hitchens was the one that. Thank you for not censoring me, James. James is my first viewer. I'm loyal. I'm ride or die with James at this point. Well, of course, Lloyd and Carly, they're friends of mine. I didn't even tell them I was announcing this. How's this showing up? Rowling's issues with trans has more to do with feminism than bigotry. Yes, and that's a tough thing though, because the thing about it is if you don't like think of it this way, you're in 1962 Selma, Alabama, and you're like, I don't like segregation because I would have to expand my Woolworths. I'd have to make it bigger to accommodate the lunch counter. You're still for segregation. So even though the reason is marginally better, it's not really better. So, yes, she is approaching it from a feminist standpoint. And I understand that because she really doesn't want to have men in these spaces. Um, but they're not men. They don't identify as men. And the people that happen to be trans don't perceive of themselves as trans or as men. Uh, so I don't think that they're like, I'm going to go through this elaborate surgery, change my identity, go through all of this enmity throughout public space and in my own life because I want to look at women in bathrooms. I don't think that's the angle. I, that's that's a lot. I mean, now I don't think that's the angle. So some may disagree with me, but I kind of think that's a lot of legwork to become a peeping tom. I think you could just constantly just go into bathrooms, accidentally go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was the men's bathroom." If that's your kick, and not to kink shame. So, uh, oh, it's in your feed. So is this just anyone who subscribes to That's So Quantum or YouTube is just checking this out? I wonder how I should, huh? I can identify as a black guy, but that doesn't make me black. That's fair. That is very fair. Um, I think that you probably could, though. I think you could get to the cookout if that's what you wanted to do. I think if you said, look, I mean, like Rachel Dolezal, was this person that, I don't know if you remember, said she identified as black and she moved all the way up through the NAACP, and then it came out that she uh, wasn't black, and they had pictures of her looking like a, you know, blonde cheerleader type stereotype. Um, I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm not going to speak for all of black people, but I'm actually going to speak for all black people here. That's I don't think black people really cared. Not really. I mean, we thought it was funny. I mean, I think that we thought it was weird, strange, but we don't have the animus for her that we'd have for just spitballing names here, Donald Trump, you know? So I don't know. So yes, you cannot necessarily yes, Blue-Eyed Soul. Like someone, if you want to, you can rickroll me right now. Blue-Eyed Soul. But they do have the Blue-Eyed Soul. She had the Blue-Eyed Soul, I guess, Rachel Dolezal. So if you ask the average black person, they would be like, that lady was crazy. But they wouldn't hate her. They'd be like, oh, fine. I mean, if black people were half as violent as we are supposed to have been, we would have burned this country down 200 years ago. We're pretty mellow most of the time. Um, so I want to see how we can get more people. How do we get more people on this stream? Because this is a very enjoyable conversation. If it's in Carly's feed, that means it's probably for subscribers to That So Quantum. John Howard Griffith attempted this in the 50s, and there's a lot to say about living the experience. Oh, are you saying the book was that the book Black Like Me? I think it was a guy. If you're speaking, James, of the person who this wouldn't fly now, who didn't blackface, but he did real makeup to look like he was black, so he could write about what it was like, and he saw some things. I mean, he was being black at a time when arguably not so easy. Not so easy to be black at that point in time, and he had some things to say. And I think that that was one of many books that sort of helped the civil rights movement. I mean, there were others, Soul on Ice, and um, a couple that I probably can't say the title of because they start with the word N. Invisible Man by Ellison. Hey, the, thank you very much, Lloyd, for all of your tips, and thank you for the birthday wishes. I really, so yeah, I mean, there is something to be said for putting yourself in someone else's shoes. I think that's also what seems to be a problem now, is just that people's ability to be empathetic and really go, "Oh, I wouldn't like if that happened to me. Maybe we shouldn't have that happen to another person." You know, so maybe, but I'm just spitballing here. I don't know. Yes, John Howard Griffin attempted this in the 50s, and there's a lot to say about living the experience. I can sympathize with black issues, but truly understand it's a different thing. It is, and I think the deep, dark, dirty secret is if you just were to imagine what people not liking you was like, then you probably have you could understand what that experience is like. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's been in a situation, many people have been in a situation where people just didn't like them. They just didn't like the cut of your jib. They just didn't like you. Now, if you are a woman, if you're trans, if you're gay, and arguably now more than it certainly used to be, if you happen to be a white male, there are people that are just not gonna like you. And you're just like, but I'm adorable. But no, they just don't. Um, let's see. Empathy is a major issue in our society currently. We are too busy with our own issues to consider others, and I think a lot of what the current system is pushing is ensuring that continues. No clue if it's purposeful, but it sure feels that way sometimes. I agree. I think where we're at is that there are people who have commodified and monetized hatred. There are people that get a lot of money out of disliking others or getting others to dislike others. I call it the pundit sphere. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but I think there's a lot of folks that do this. And I had people at work, they were saying that there's a lot of bots that are part of the response that do play a hand in this. And we don't know how many of some of these people that are like, I don't like black people, I don't like trans people, are actually bots from some other country trying to destabilize us. But whether they're bots or not, there seems to be plenty of real people that are taking that baton and running with it and make a lot of money. I mean, we've got 3 people that we're having a chat with. There's somebody right now live streaming that's probably got millions, and they're saying heinous, heinous things. I mean, I suppose I could start saying heinous things and then we'd get more people on the feed, but I'm just testing the feed out and it looks like it works. My program works. And I met James and I saw Carly and Lloyd and Digimon 2.0. So, I thought that's been worthwhile for me. But yeah, I think you're right, James. I mean, I think that, I do well, just to add a piggyback on it, I think it is purposeful. I don't think it's always purposeful. I think that there's this pack tendency of humanity. We're pack animals. I mean, don't tell anybody we're animals, but we're pack animals. And we like to couple up and tribal it out and work it out, villages and all that sort of thing. And I think that to affirm our identity, we want to find people that match whatever that conceptual identity is. And by matching whatever that conceptual identity is, then they feel stronger in their identity. Identity is so paper thin and flimsy, and this is sort of a Buddhist concept. So thin and flimsy that it takes moment to moment reinforcement to even exist and to even act on it. And so if you have a bunch of people saying, you know, I feel uncomfortable around that black person or that white person or that trans person, and someone else says, "Yeah, me too," and then you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm not bad. It just means they're bad. The person I'm uncomfortable with, they're bad." And then you solidify the identity, and you go on your way. In the cosmic scale, we're flinging shit and eating bananas a couple weeks ago. Yes, yes. Some of us still are. Some of us still are flinging, definitely flinging shit and eating bananas. Um, yeah, I think on the calendar of existence of the universe's existence, we're day 31 at like 6 p.m. or something. You know, on the scene. And so, how much does our evolution, being these pack animals and having stranger danger and an excited amygdala dumping biochemistry into us, how much of that is what's actually making us make these choices? But I do think that there are people that are making a lot of money on it. I mean, you got to figure Zuckerberg, one of the richest people on the planet, that was just monetizing opinion, right? I mean, sure, you could see your aunt's casserole, or your uncle could rant about, how Q is going to, get everybody arrested because the entire Democratic Party are child molesters or something. Can I say that? Child, yeah, that don't want to get demonetized. Child SA, doing, that kind of thing. Um, but and he's made millions, billions off of that. I mean, Twitter, same thing, right? Twitter's the same thing. It's like you monetized opinion, which is just, you know, shooting, mainlining opinion, mainlining, this tribalism. And, some of the richest people on the planet currently are beneficiaries of that. Anton LaVey, oh yeah, Satanic Bible. Anton LaVey wrote this on this a while ago. Not a patron of the guy, but I thought this was profound. Yeah, I think what's funny. The funniest thing about Anton LaVey is that he was really influenced by Ayn Rand. Yeah, take that, Rand Paul. Yeah, guy loved to play circus organ, have naked women around, wear a little cap of horns, and believed in objectivism of Ayn Rand, of the Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. So That's always funny. So some of the most Christian libertarians don't realize that they're simpatico with the Lord of Darkness, Anton LaVey. Um, Man is just another animal, sometimes better, often more often worse than those that walk on all fours, who, because of this divine spiritual and intellectual development, has become the most vicious. Yeah. Well, I think if James, if we were to look at, I joke about this all the time. It's like we're part chimp and part bonobo. The chimp part really likes to get its violence on. It'd been nice if we were a bit more bonobo, but I don't know if you want to settle all arguments with with making out and intercourse. Is that something I can say on YouTube? I don't know. I'm just trying to be the new Joe Rogan, right? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, yeah, we can be very, very vicious. Speak for yourself. Sounds like a good society. Yes, but sometimes they're settling fights with their parents that way. So, you know, not to king shame, but uh, settling that with your coworker, maybe not so bad, but settling that with your mom or your child, yeah, that's kind of how the bonobos roll. Um, HR, yes, HR. I say that all the time. Oh my goodness, James, this is great. I say that all the time at work. Carly will attest to that. I say anytime we get a little spicy, I say HR. Yes, that would be a problem. Um, so yeah, I so how do we get out from under that? How do we get out from under this opinion sphere making see, Carly told you. The opinion sphere, how do we get out from the opinion sphere dominating us, separating us, and being and monetizing us, and then slowly trickling our way into authoritarianism? Because, I think many people would say, oh, if you say that this particular administration is authoritarian, that's you're you're just anti-Trump or you've got Trump derangement syndrome. But I mean, I don't know. I've been watching Andor for a bit, and my undeclared minor in college was political science, so I think I've read a little bit about revolutions and authoritarian governments, and they tend to start this way. And you start building, just build some detention centers. They're not they're not camps, right? They're not they're not camps. I mean, you build detention centers of various places and you get like, what, 20, 30, 40 billion dollars to do so. You're going to have to lock up a lot of people, and I'm not sure who you're going to be locking up. There aren't I mean, right? Um Denazification strategies in the 40s and 50s did excellent work in removing cult mentalities from post-war Germany. Yeah, I think that's what we need. But arguably, well, do we need some kind of catalyzing event that would be like that just sort of startles everybody awake? Like, would if like all of a sudden Trump says, I'm getting rid of your citizenship, AOC, you're going to the Guantanamo. Would that be enough for people to go, oh, wait a second? Because I mean, at this point, it seems as though most of the Republican Party at this point is very afraid of standing up against him in any kind of meaningful way. And the courts aren't doing that either. And when you have the courts, you don't really need public opinion at that point, because then you can just say, anything I do as president is legal. So I'm going to do this. So, yeah, we would probably need to magnification. Not stepping on any MAGA toes out there, but maybe. Did martial arts? Yes, I did do martial arts. Oh, you're looking at my Facebook feed. Oh my gosh, I'm on Facebook once a year, usually today, because there's a ton of people that I know that are like, "Oh, happy birthday, John," and I'm like, my aunts and cousins, and I'm like, "Oh, thank you," because I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate when they wish me a happy birthday. High school friends and high school acquaintances and such. And yes, I did do martial arts. I got a black belt in kung fu. I got a blue belt, three white stripe uh, in jiu-jitsu. So I was just before purple, which then goes to brown, which then goes to black. So far, far away from a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but good enough to, if you aren't trained, I probably can handle myself on the ground. And then I became old, and then one young punk kid in jiu-jitsu tweaked my LCL, and I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I know enough. I don't need some person half my age trying to break my knee, because and which still occasionally uh occasionally gives me trouble. Oh, I said it earlier. Oh, so I did say martial artists. That's weird because I don't really, I mean, I got that black belt in 2001 and I got that blue belt in 2006. So, it's been a bit. I mean, I could probably handle myself as long as the person wasn't Brock Lesnar or something. Someone super trained and super strong who could just toss me around like a rag doll. But yeah, maybe. I don't know. Um, yeah, so I just want to see what we can do. If there's something we can do. Um, we got to figure it out, James. We got to figure it out, Digimon, Carly, and whoever the fourth person is. I don't think that's Lloyd anymore. Who is the fourth person? If you are in the chat, I've been doing this for 41 minutes. Holy smokes. Ranting to over on my birthday, uh ranting about all of these things. How would I get this advertised? How could we get a gang of a truckload of people to yell at me and get in discussions? I think because everything James and I are discussing, we're pretty much in agreement with. And Carly, I know where your head's at. So, and Digimon 2, you moved from Nebraska to Colorado. You're probably more sympathetic than not. And this is, I'm encouraging anyone who's a MAGA affiliated person, come on board, see what's going on. Um, Maybe we can figure out this American thing. I think tags and sharing on other socials. There's a Discord, right? Oh, thank you, Digimon. I don't know. So I'm just part of this today was just seeing both whether I had the courage to live stream and just shake my hand at clouds in cyberspace. Um, but yeah, I suppose I could have put tags on this. Let's see, is there a way to do that? I imagine somewhere on the in the world of of YouTube we could do that. This is, by the way, no slam against all of the clickbait video title. Ah, so I should have said something like, "This man hates the 4th of July. What about you?" So how do I change my title? They'll be like, "Ah, too late, bud. You can't do it. You can't do it." Okay, well, thanks, Digimon. I appreciate it. So maybe I should do this later in the day and say, okay, I'm gonna be like, this man doesn't like the libs and their view on the 4th of July. No. Mm. Yeah, because I don't have the thumbnail either. I don't have the, which just to be honest, isn't that just sort of a little bit of digital minstrelsy? I mean, kinda. I mean, I mean, I don't know. Big red arrow. He hates the 4th of July. Yeah, I just put born on the 4th of July for the stream. People are like, what? Who cares? What? So what? I don't care. So I could have this live stream also on my Discord channel. Huh. I thought about that before. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Thank you. God, thank you. Uh, oh, uh, what happened? Oh, I don't want to learn more. No, I clicked on the wrong thing. I'm back. All right. Yeah, something with a big arrow pointing to it, looking shocked. Um, yeah, that's how they do it. And I clearly don't, but you can share the link to this current video on your Instagram. Oh, where would I find that, Carly? The link for this. Do I just highlight my HTTPS thing and then throw that on Instagram? Ooh, wait. Let's see. No, don't do that. Get out of here. Help. See, this is where I become an old man. I'm like, oh, there's too many windows open. I don't. Let's get out. Let's get out of that. I don't want to learn more. I don't want to. Okay, here we go. We're gonna find live. There we go. That link. Got it. Okay. Strangely enough, I have like 15 followers. Learning is for nerds. It is. Uh, let's see. What's the auto configure? I don't want that. Okay, there now. Okay, so you're gonna see me. That said, that was kind of close to Bane. What do you think, Batman? Yeah, it was kind of Banish. You're right, Digimon. You're correct. So I have, like, strangely enough, like 15,000 followers on Instagram. Um, because I paid for a service when I was doing that so quantum to make sure to get rid of all the bots but do advertising. And that's what I did. So now I'm gonna post on Instagram. Here we go. Post it on Instagram. Oh wait, forgive me. This is super boring for you guys that are watching this, I imagine. I click on the camera, maybe. Okay, I've clicked on the no add. That's what I do. Add. Why is everything okay? Message. Paste. There you go. Oh, that didn't do anything. That was terrible. I clearly messed up there. Um, new. Why isn't it doing it? Okay, forgive me. Where are you guys at? I'd like to see, still keep chatting with you guys while I do the old man thing of trying to figure out how to do this. Um, you guys are still there. Oh, good. I haven't lost anyone. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna Instagram. This is what we're doing. We're doing this. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Okay. Dashboard create. Live video. There we go. Add a title. Born on, so look at me hunting and pecking too. On the 4th, almost misspelled it, of July. Boom. Audience, public. Boom. Next. Go streaming. Okay, stream URL. That's what I would. Oh, they wanted me to connect stream. Okay, so I have a stream key. Now I can stream URL. There we go. No, no, that's not what I want to do. I'm figuring it out. Look at this. This is great. I'm getting my slow cooker going so I can have soup later. You're my cooking companion. Oh, neat. Okay, so I've copied my link, and now I don't want to go live. What are they go live? So they want me to go live with this stream key, but I don't want to use that. Go live with streaming software. Oh, see, no, this turned into a thing. So looks like the going live is not going to happen via uh, Instagram. So looks like we're out of luck there. I can post something. I can post an ad or post a post, and I'm doing that. There we go. Drag and drop. No. Cancel. Create a new post. I don't want to. Why do I have to drag things? Okay, so Digimon and James, this has turned into a ton of tomfoolery at this point. Because it won't let me do anything. Okay, it's gonna have me select a picture. So I'm just gonna select no, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Going back. It was too scary. Chicken tortilla. See, that's great. That's grub. Um Instagram live producer. No, I just want to post a live thing. Yeah, see, look, my viewers are connecting with my actual friends. This is kind of great. How about an ad? Let's post an ad. Upload. Yes. No, not no. Okay. So is this what how excruciatingly bad it is when I have to help my mother with computers? This is probably exactly that. So I'm just going to message. Just create a message. Create a post. Select from computer. I'm going to drag a photo. Here's a photo. Let's see. There. I'm just using gray-haired old me for a photo. Next. No, I don't need filters. Next. Now I'm posting it. Boom. Live right now. Live on YouTube. There it is. Now it's on Instagram. Share. Boom. But I'm still going to be mad loyal to Carly and Digimon and James. I will always listen to your comments first, no matter how huge this gets. I'm not boosting this post. What are you kidding me? I'm not boosting it. I'm just posting it. Okay, there, I've done it. It's done. We're doing it live. Okay, cool. So let's see. I'm catching up. So getting a slow cooker going so I can have soup for that. James was like, "Cool, let's go, Carly. What type of soup? Chicken tortilla. That's going to be fire. Very good. Got to do the story post link. That sounds pretty parasocial. Laughing my ass off. You owe me no loyalty. Too late, James. Too late. Yeah, it's James and Digimon all day, every day. That's where we're at. We're rocking my birthday. It's almost been an hour. I have been on this for almost an hour. There are people that do this like for jobs? That's that's wild. Let's see how the Instagram post looks. My post. Oh, it doesn't it doesn't look very I'm not impressed with that. Oh well, it's a first post. It's my birthday post. I plan on having other posts where I just am just that. But see now I gotta get like Digimon and James's schedule because I can't do this without you. You guys are my live stream support animals. Is that what you would call it? Live stream support bros or people or whatever you are, however you identify. Um, watched a charity stream that was 7+ hours the other day where he drank weird lemonades, like 150 of them. I don't have any lemonade. I do have some rice milk. Carly had given me a recipe for rice milk, by the way, Digimon and James. And well, not a recipe, but just demystified the making of rice milk. Um, yes, that blood glucose. Yeah, I think. Well, is lemonade always sugar? I mean, you can always add I guess something else like a Splenda or something, couldn't you? Probably not as good. I mean, that's the problem with sugar and butter is that there's not much that really beats those in terms of their flavor. I mean, high fructose corn syrup not as good as sugar. I have been getting into maple sugar lately. They make tomato lemonade in the UK? Of course they do. Of course they do. Why would the UK end its streak of usually terrible foods with a lemonade, a regular lemonade? I mean, it's strangely enough, I would have thought that that would have been more like a gazpacho kind of Spanish drink. Like that seems like, oh, somewhere, you know, that, has an interesting food culture. Uh, but then when I thought about how tomato lemonade probably wouldn't be flavorful, really. I mean, I guess it could. I mean, it's a fruit, right? Are we are we team fruit with the tomato? Are we team fruit? Yeah. See, James is with me. It is the most British thing I've ever heard. Tomato lemonade. Definitely. So James is team fruit for lemon for the tomato. Um, so this is something you're hearing a bunch of my conversations with Carly, Digimon, and James, but we got in a long discussion about how all fruit is are seeds, right? Wasn't it all fruits were seeds, or were all fruits berries, or were all berries fruit? I can't remember the conversation. Avocados are a fruit. I'm starting. I don't know about you, but I feel like avocados have changed a little bit because now they make my mouth itch when I eat them. Excuse me. So whenever I have an avocado, I'm just like, I can't. Sushi that has it was berries. Okay, good. So all fruit are berries because do berries have fruit? I mean, do berries have seeds in them? I don't feel like berries have seeds in them, but bananas have seeds, tomatoes have seeds, apples have seeds, but are berries seedless? We are straying way off topic of the State of the Union on the 4th of July. I don't care though. Berries definitely have seeds. Have I don't feel like I've spit out any. Am I? Do I have a berry plant growing in my intestine? Because never spit out a seed on a berry. Have I? Olives definitely have. Olives are a fruit. Pits are seeds. Yeah. So see, I think my 6-year-old brain decided very early on that all fruits were sweet and all vegetables were savory or not sweet. And so things that aren't sweet, I just am like, my brain just refuses to acknowledge them as fruit. But yes, olives would be a fruit. Very good, frankly. So that means, so can you make, okay, you have olive oil. Can you make an oil out of any fruit? I mean, I know there's vegetable oil, so igneous vegetables that make the oil, I'm assuming. And then there's sunflower oil. But is there, can you make like a tomato oil? I mean, I guess you could, right? I, I think there is tomato oil. Anyway, State of the Union, we've decided we're solidly team fruit with the tomato. You haven't piped in though, Digimon. I've not heard your opinion on tomato being fruit and or not. So pits are seeds. Hmm. You can infuse a lot of things into oils. That's true. You can make anything, I suppose, with it. You can make an oil out of anything. Why? But that means that we could make oils out of healthier things, right? I mean, I know there's a big kerfuffle around seed oils right now, right? They're like all like, oh, seed oils, those are bad, and vegetable oils are bad. Leg is a foot. So Digimon 2.0, is this Gary? Leg is a foot. All right. There's a friend of mine that has that same view. If leg is a foot, hand is an arm. See, no, I think I feel like leg is leg is a foot. Uh no, I don't think so. There's dozens of us. Dozens. Near nudes. We're near nudes all must unite. What's going on with I have a weird thing in the center of my studio. I'm not sure what that little thing is. There's like a little arrow. No, I think foot is foot. Leg is leg. I think everything from the ankle up is leg. And is butt leg? I think butt is leg. Half of butt. Your butt, you wouldn't say your butt is your leg, but you would say one of your cheeks is of your butt is a leg. Buttocks, buttock is a leg, not buttocks, but one. From below the butt down can be called foot. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that strikes in I think if I had a Gray's Anatomy book, I think they would call it something different. But this gets very much into sort of the Buddhist notion of, you can't subdivide things away from all of the things that relate to it. So, you could call leg ground, I guess, but you know, for the sake of our Western physiology, I think that foot is foot and leg is ankle to buttock. But knee is specific, calf is specific. Well, oh, actually I might have to have come around to Digimon's view. Maybe foot is leg. If knee is a specific part of leg and buttock is a specific part of leg and thigh is specific part of leg, then maybe foot is a specific part of leg. I mean, if you lose your arm, you're losing your hand with your arm. But hand is hand, but you can't call hand arm. You can call arm. Let's see how the camera goes. The arm. Oh God, I saluted. I just did a Nazi salute to show you an arm. Now I'm gonna for sure get a ton of views. Now I'm gonna all of a sudden all of the viewers it went from 4 to 20 because I accidentally saluted there. These are sets and subsets. Yes. So a foot is a subset of leg, but a leg is not a subset of foot. Yes. So on this 4th of July, State of the Union, we have decided that tomato definitely fruit. You can make oils out of anything. Tortilla soup probably fire. Problem with empathy and tribalism. And I accidentally saluted. I did a sea kale accidentally on the feed. What can you say? I mean, happy birthday to me, I suppose. Oh, good. So now, how do I? The question is, okay. So I'm gonna give you guys the stream. You technical people. I'm highlighting my whole stream link. Copy. I'm putting it in the chat. Paste. I'm sending it off. There it is. Oh, see, it came up with a link there. It wouldn't do that on Instagram, though. So share that with whomever you will in all of your feeds. Maybe I can do it this way with my. See, that's perfect. That would have been a perfect way to put this on Instagram. But no, Instagram didn't want to do it that way. Maybe I can edit it. Let's see. Edit. Edit. Yes. Yes. Yeah, there you go. Done. Live. See, it's not really working there. That's fine. I could put it on my Facebook. Goodness gracious. Uh, I think if I put it on Facebook though, then it'll be like, you want this link? What link? Yeah, that's the link. The link that I just posted, James. The one that says that's so quantum studio YouTube com video, that one. Last link is the back end. Oh, okay. So this chunk, this little htmsstudio.youtube.com/video/4mdg, the studio is backend. The public can't access that. So this link is just garbage that I just posted. Thanks, James. But I thought this was perfect. I thought that was great. So I couldn't just go Facebook and bounce and see what happens. Ah, studio, YouTube. Hey, I should show you my T-shirt. This is a T-shirt I'm proud of. This is power, responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. That's my great power comes. See, that's why it's a Spider-Man, little Spider-Man. Get it? With great, right? Pretty good. It's, it's red and blue, so I figured, and this is all white, so I figured I'm going with a theme here. I'm going with a theme. So, yes, yes, that is okay. So this is what I'm going to do. This is going to blow some people's minds on Facebook, right? I'm going to go to Facebook. Welcome back, John. Choose how you want to go live. I'm going to post on my timeline. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I just want to go here. What's on your mind, John? I'm posting. No, I just want to just post. I'm gonna do that. There we go. Post. See what happens there. And then if someone clicks on it, they will see something. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? All right, back to my friends on the wonderful world of Gumball. I mean, the wonderful world of my live stream. Oh, I lost a person. That's okay. So James, I think that what you should do, because I'm probably going to have to wrap this up and figure out how to get this going. You should check out all of the things that I have on the That's a Quantum show and all of that stuff. And I gotta I gotta figure out. You can send me an email and stuff, and I can find out about you, and we can be friends. Because I think Digimon. I have a strong suspicion that's a friend of mine already. And Carly, ugh, I already know you. But yes, I feel like this has been really fun. I think this has been too. Um, is there a quantum Discord at all? Ugh, yeah, ugh, Carly. I'm so excited for Eric's gift. My friend, our mutual friend, has a birthday shortly after mine, and well, it's not her friend; he's her brother. And so I'm so excited about his Gintama gift. He he doesn't know. I've been playing it down like I what his birthday? He does what? And so I'm gonna set up the statue in his office, and he'll just not even know. And I'll be like, ha ha, zing! Oh no, you didn't get so James. Should tell you about a conversation also we had at work. Haunted dolls. What's your opinion on haunted dolls? You know you can buy haunted dolls on eBay. Now, I don't know if I believe in any particular metaphysical religious paradigm. However, that doesn't negate the fact that something from some other dimension can just enter a doll and play havoc with your luck. And they were going to order me a haunted doll, and I was not having it. I'm not having a haunted doll. I would burn it, and then I'd probably have even worse luck. And how many doll movies have been bad? I mean, there's some bad stuff. Bad stuff. Not a fan. Why is this? Why is it showing a little arrow in my thing? I don't know. So I don't. As to answer your question, is there a quantum discord? There is. I've never. We were supposed to, as actors, do like play video games and do on Discord. Is Discord? I again. I'm not super out of it, but I'm out of it enough to go. Oh, should I do a Discord? Because I could. I could go on there. I have a decent amount of knowledge on things. That sounds like something to put on the gift list for you. A haunted doll. No, it is not. It is not. The my as a devout atheist, I don't believe there is a soul or that souls could do actions such as impregnate. Might be the wrong word. A doll. So I think this is the thing. This is an interesting day because I think that religions tried to organize their world, codify their world, figure it out. They came up with a bunch of things like, oh, this person's possessed, and it turns out they just had epilepsy, or oh, this person was cursed by God. It turns out they ate some bad fish. So we're going to make fish a thing that's, an abomination, or sea fish, seafood, or pork. Wasn't really healthy during the Iron Age to eat those things, unless you cook the hell out of them. So I think sometimes these things point to realities that we may not know that don't follow any particular religious paradigm. In other words, if a doll was haunted, that doesn't mean that there's such a thing as God or anything. It just means that on some plane of existence, there's some kind of energy that's going on that is doing something. Um, and there seems to be enough anecdotal evidence for that. But I think that, nothing more powers the church than, hey, that person's possessed. I mean, I think that The Exorcist caused this great surge in what was it, in belief, Catholic membership. So the Catholic Church loved The Exorcist. They were like, yes, yes. Um So, you know, so I don't think that what would be doing a thing to a doll is a demon or an angel or something. But I don't know. I mean, if we're only operating in three dimensions and there are other dimensions, I don't know. All I know is I don't want your haunted doll. But I think that there's a quantum element to these things as well. So it's kind of like there's an element of belief that makes things happen where a lack of belief would make nothing happen. I think it was a mantra, I think it was a mantra study. They had all these different people from different religions pray for people that they didn't know. And there was something that happened. I don't know. I have to read it again, but I thought that there was some affect that happened. So it didn't have anything to do with a particular religious paradigm. It had to do with focusing mind on something, and boom, there you go. Yeah, yeah, might be. It sounds very Terry Pratchett. If now that I think about it, you're right. I just got texted happy birthday. Oh, look, someone wished me a happy birthday. I should tell them, hey, you should probably check out my live stream that I'm doing for my friends on my birthday. Um, yes. So we can definitely attempt an experiment. I can pick up a haunted doll off of eBay, leave it in my room, and if I die from mysterious circumstances, you'll know. Okay, so yeah, I think you should do that. I would ask as a favor, as a friend, make sure that you have your beneficiary, maybe me, on your life insurance policy. But yeah, but I do think that there's a quantum element to that. It's kind of like people who lift cars off of people, that when there's a car wreck and they just have this surge. I think there's an element of observation and belief that changes reality. So, which is why all these people who are religious see all this crazy shit and all this stuff. All the people that don't believe anything, they're like, nope, I haven't seen anything. That's quiet. That mental institution is as quiet as anything. I don't see anything going on. Meanwhile, the people that have some belief system are like, ah, freaking out. So I don't know. Is there an element, of belief that, like, from a quantum level of observation determines how things express themselves? Is there an element to that? Maybe. I don't know. The study that I remember on prayer showed no statistically. Yeah, there is that one too. Difference between people who were prayed for and those who weren't when they were told that they were being prayed for. Yeah, there's that. I feel like there's been studies both directions. So I thought there was the one that Digimon is talking about, I think is a more recent one, but there was a study, I feel like it was in the 60s called the Mantra study or something like that, that had something to do with that. And I think we're not going to ever be able to escape that an element of these religious paradigms, particularly theistic ones where there's a deity involved or something that's to be worshipped. It's about, trying to create some sort of order out of the chaos, you know um, so that's the one thing that really grinds my gears about people who don't know about Buddhism. They think Buddhism is like Christianity, only it's the Buddha instead of Christ. And it's like, no, that's why there's all these lines about if you see the Buddha on the road, shoot him. No, you're not supposed to worship him. It's just a set of practices for understanding how your mind works. Um, yeah, with cancer patients. Oh goodness. Yeah, see, you really want that prayer to work if well, this is the thing. If prayer really worked, don't you think everybody and their mother prayed about ending war? I mean, I'm sure more than a few people in Gaza are like, please don't let this bomb drop on me. And strangely enough, bomb dropped. What can you do? Bomb dropped and you were out of luck. So I think that there probably is something to be said for maybe that mantra thing being a bit of horse hockey. It's probably not true. I mean, how many you could just flail blindly and hit a poor person who has prayed about having some relief to their finances and they're not. And then you have other guys that are like, "Oh, there's another $1 billion of interest." So, you know, I think maybe shenanigans when it comes to prayer. Milton, my dog is barking. So, yeah, I would say this is more of a power of suggestion thing than anything else. That's probably true. For those who expect a certain reaction, they will find those correl. Yeah, well, there's a tendency to have confirmation bias, right? You would just be like, I was praying for money and I found a penny on the ground. But I'm going to tell you something. The rich, the billionaires, the powerful, they really like the fact that there are people who are religious. Because let's be honest, uh, if uh, if people stopped wholesale believing in those things and thought this was their only life, they would absolutely pitchfork them. They would absolutely. You're gonna tell me that people who were then all of a sudden woke up and said, "Guess what? This is your only life," wouldn't be in the streets rioting about any number of things. What? This is my only life and I'm drinking water with lead in it? No. You would so I think people have a vested interest in keeping people's theistic beliefs in place because then you can you can control the masses, opiate of the masses, so to speak, a la Marx. So, yeah, I mean, and now you have people that they don't even remotely believe in some sort of compassion or understanding. Milton, for their religious belief, they're just like, my God hates, this creator of the universe, quasars and black holes, really doesn't like trans people, turns out, you know? Sure, he made black holes and gas giants and suns that are like 100 times the size of our own sun, asteroid belt, and you know planets that just rain ammonia or diamonds. Doesn't Venus just rain diamonds, or was it Uranus? Uranus rains diamonds. I won't make the joke. um so but no, he really cares if you have a crush on someone that's the same gender, because you know he's got a macro picture and a micro picture is what we're talking about. So I don't know. I don't know. But I probably should go with the rest of my day. Oh, what is yes, this omniscient being sure does have a lot of strange attachment to how we bang. Yes. Well, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So make sure to not bang certain people for heaven's sake. Yes. Yes, that is probably absolutely true. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, we're not going to solve it here. Oh, that's Santa. Yes, you're right. Santa. Well, I get my magical beings mixed up. Um, for those of you who have not seen it, you should definitely watch Anna and the Apocalypse. It's a great Christmas movie and a zombie film. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Digimon. Thank you for wishing me a great day. And you, James, we're gonna have to become friends. So you're gonna have to send me emails. Drupgu 108 at gmail.com. Or you can look at the That's So Quantum channel, watch any of that stuff, and send me some stuff because I think we should do this live link some other time. People are starting to go, ugh, he's just talking to people on a stream, and we want to wish him a happy birthday because your birthday's really not about you, really. I will put that in the chat. Yes, here's the chat. This is what you can. Here's how you can get a hold of me, James, and you can listen to all my stuff. And hey, maybe we should do a live stream together or a Zoom together, and we can just commiserate. We'll be like, this is my friend James. He's a Floridian. He's a Florida man. It'll be just John and the Florida man, is what we'll call the podcast, and we'll talk about whatever. Um, and yeah, and you can be part of because we do Zooms on Old Man Blurred all the time. There it is. There's my email. So thank you all for joining me on my birthday stream. Maybe I'll do another one. I think I'll probably try to advertise that one. Might be publicly searchable. That's fine. Uh, I say my email address in my pod all the time, so that's fair. Thank you, Digimon. It's already been done, and you know what? No one ever emails me. But I could. You got it down, James? If you've written it down, I'll remove it just to be safe. Write it down. Come on, James. I'm depending on you, Florida man. I'm depending on you to write down my email address before I remove it. I'm giving you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. Oh, see, I retracted it. See? Did you get it, James? Did you get it? 1 second. My pet alligator took my pen. Come on, James. How do I unretract it? It's too late. You've missed it. You've missed it. Actually, if you look at That's So Quantum, there's my emails on there too. See, so Digimon, you're not even helping. Well, you could help. I got to figure out a way to get a live stream linked. So thank you again for all joining me on my birthday. Take a look at all of the That's So Quantum things. We're actually going to have another movie coming up pretty soon. And maybe we'll actually film the second episode. Who knows? But I've very much enjoyed this. This has been one of my favorite little gifts to myself. So take care, James, Digimon, Carly. Uh, Lloyd was there. Am I forgetting someone? I don't think so. I think that was everybody. Yay! Go get a martini and spend some time at the local pool. Ugh. People swim in that, and there's ugh. All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks. Happy birthday to me.